Big fight coming up, Claressa. Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, April 20th in Las Vegas. Let me know, how do you see the fight? Break it down for the boxing fans, the fight fans out there that are excited about it.
Well, I honestly, I've enjoyed watching Ryan grow over the years. It just seems like to me, Devin Haney has had harder fights. He has had more challenging fights, and he's grown more. I don't know if I can say that about Ryan. So I just feel that it'd be it'd be entertaining. Like, you'll see Ryan go out there and be flashy and throw his combinations and be sharp and long and stuff. But I think that Devin is just a better boxer, and he'll be able to make Ryan run into some things. And I think that it'll be a unanimous decision for Devin.
Do you feel it's a similar fight like the Regis Prograis, where we see like a dominant Devin that's winning every single round, or do you see it as a very close competitive fight?
I see it as a very close competitive fight early. And I say that because of Ryan's attributes. Like, he got hard, right? He's fast, he's flashy. He got some punching power too. I just feel like as Devin figures him out, then the fight will become a little one-sided toward the middle rounds and toward the end rounds. But I'm not saying I don't think Ryan just go out there and just lay down and get washed. I think that the beef is real between those guys, and Ryan really has a lot to prove. But um, I just haven't seen Ryan make those improvements that I would like to see him make, or just add more to his arsenal. But and just fix some mistakes. Like, I can name a few. Like, one of his mistakes, like sometimes when he jab, he squint his eyes like this. And it's like that split second of you squint your eye can be a split second you get dropped. Or sometimes his chin is in the air. That's how he got knocked out by Javante. He was throwing his punches and landing his shots, but when you pull out and your chin's in the air, down you go. So I just haven't seen him fix those things yet. So if he works on some things, maybe he can make it more competitive. But I feel like Devin has definitely been challenged, and um just over time he's just had more experience in the pros than Ryan has.
So in the amateurs, they went 3-3, and they're really familiar with each other. Does that at all? Can it play a role into how well they mesh style wise, or is it they're pros now? It's a different game.
They are pros now. It's a whole different game. It's a whole different game. It's a whole different point system, and we talking about little boys that fought. You know, compared to grown men, it's different. It's different. And like I said, just the experience that you have inside the ring. You go and look at my record on BoxRec. It says 14-0 with 2 knockouts, right? But and then you look at all the belts and you say, oh, only 2 knockouts, and then you may say, oh, well, maybe she's not that great. But then you go and look at the girls that I fought against, and you see 18-1, 21-0, 24-0, 23-2, 23-1, 23-0. You see all these girls who are undefeated with way more fights than me, way more experience. And then you'll understand, oh, that's why she's looked at as pound for pound number one. But then, so that's why I'm saying, like, you look at the competition that Ryan has had matched up with the competition that Devin has had, and I think Devin has been matched harder than Ryan. But even though I will give Ryan, a great head nod on taking the fight with Luke Campbell, I didn't think he would take that fight, and I definitely didn't think he would win that fight. And he got dropped that fight and went through a whole lot of adversity, came back, won the fight, made me a fan for life.
This February 24th date, third MMA fight. Man, how do you feel about it? Because I've been so focused on you boxing that, like, I don't want to say I forgot, but like it just kind of like reminded me, like, oh yeah, she does MMA also.
Um, I'm excited and nervous, and
Why are you you're nervous, huh? Wow.
yeah, MMA isn't boxing. It's not boxing. And it's a healthy nervous, I guess. I take winning seriously and knowing that I'm not the most experienced in MMA, it's harder. You know, it's harder than boxing. Like boxing to me is like comes like that. But MMA, it has posed its challenges, but I've been learning a lot, a lot. And I have a great team who has been pushing me. And this camp has been extremely hard. I mean, physically, mentally, it has been very, very, very hard. So but I've learned a lot, and I know that I'll be better inside the cage than what I was last time. So I just look forward to actually going out there and showing that.
Yeah, this fight you have is happening February 24th in Saudi Arabia. It is a PFL versus Bellator fight. You're going against Kelsey DeSantis, like I mentioned in your third MMA fight. But this camp, Claressa, how long has the MMA portion of this camp for this fight been for you? Like, how long have you been doing it?
I've been in camp since September.
Oh, no way. Just focusing on MMA?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
My last fight I lost a split decision. I wasn't happy about in MMA. Um, I mean, I'm not really super hard on myself, you know, with that, because it's like, oh, you know, the fact that I'm just doing it, I should be like, oh, give yourself a pat on the back, you know, at least you're doing it and you lost a split and you're not even
Yeah, but
supposed to be
that's not how you're
finishing
built.
these fights.
That's not how you're
Yeah,
built.
it's not
I,
how
I
I'm
know,
built. So
I know you guys. That's not how you guys are. You lose at ping pong, you get mad.
exactly. So for me, it's like, I wanted to really get back into the cage, find me a team who understands my vision and know how big it really is and how realistic it is. And just built from there. And I'm really with a hardcore team. You know, shout out to Team Mercy. Shout out to team to Coach Joaquin Rodriguez, probably one of the toughest coaches that I work with in MMA. Very, very strict, very, very knowledgeable. Just one of those coaches who is just going to push you to your limits, you know, and that's what I've been dealing with since September.
Yeah, that split decision loss to Abby Montez. A few key areas there. I would imagine you're working on the takedown defense, working on the wrestling, working on the ground control. Do you think those are like the biggest improvements you feel you made coming into this fight, or is there other areas you feel that you made a lot of big improvements in?
I feel like my fight against Abigail, I did great getting up. Um, I think that didn't I wasn't really aware of that it was three fights inside the cage, which is the stand up, the ground game, and the cage. Working on the cage. Like I really wasn't aware that it's a fight that goes on there on the cage. I wasn't aware of that. Now that I'm aware of that, we work on all three. And that's where I've gotten stronger at. Working on a cage, of course, working on getting up off the ground and also stopping takedowns. And it's a whole different footwork to boxing. I mean, to MMA than it is to boxing. So I've been implementing that footwork, adding it to my offense, and um, it makes going for takedowns and things actually difficult. So, um, that's what I've been working on, and I believe that we'll have it all pieced together by the time February 24th come against Kelsey.
I know you signed a multi-fight deal with the PFL. How many more MMA fights do you want to have?
Do I want to have or do I have?
I guess both.
um, I have three more fights after February 24th, and honestly, those fights can go. I can have two this year, two next year, or one a year, or either of these years I can decide, hey, I want to jump in the PFL tournament and have my fights there.
Hmm. But MMA is still a long-term goal for you then.
Yeah, you know, it's something that I've seen, that I know is that I'm able to learn and pick up on anything. And the big picture for me is to be boxing world champion at the same time as being PFL world champion. I believe that is very durable for me. I feel like it's far fetched for sure, but it's not impossible. I have a lot of potential, and all it's going to take is me learning the right the right things, because the fight is already there. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to fight. I'm going to be athletic. I'm going to be Claressa Shields, the GOAT, right? But the fact that I'm forcing myself to be uncomfortable and learning all this ground stuff, and not like people feel like they do something right one time and they learned it. It's like I'm actually drilling for hours and hours every day on something that I know I'm not good at. But I know that with time and experience, you get better at anything that you're putting time into. So I feel like only thing I'm missing to be PFL world champion is the ground game. So that makes my job not that hard, to just know that, okay, boxing, I already have that. And I already have my own eyes in way that I fight, right? But if I get strong on the ground and these girls can't take me down and I gotta force them to stay up on their feet and fight me, I'm gonna win every time. So I just have to get strong in those areas. And I believe that I can get strong in those areas because every day at practice, I learn something new, and coach is more and more impressed. So he believes in the vision, I believe in the vision, and we're just working toward it.
Yeah, you got to think, if anybody's going up against you in MMA, like the first thing is like, we got to get her to the ground. You cannot
Yep,
strike with Claressa. Get her to the ground, position her where she can't move out. So yeah, the more you drill on the ground, the more you drill takedown defense, your wrestling, your submissions. Yeah, it's gonna be more complete and a lot harder for all these other ladies to go up against
exactly.
you.
And that's what we're doing. And I'm just happy that I'm not scared of hard work. I think that that's what stopped a lot of athletes, is that, MMA is so different. You come over and people think, oh, you want to hit the pads, you want to punch the pads, you want to kick the pads, you want to knee the pads, but you don't want to sprawl. You don't want to fight for the underhooks and fight um for the overhooks and all, and the wizards, and you don't want to frame. You don't want to do all these things. You don't want to wrestle, whether it's on the ground or on a cage. You don't want to do it. And it's just way more explosive than boxing to me.
Wow. I would imagine too, like, I don't know. Would you say it's been like a humbling experience for you because you're at such an elite level in boxing where you're not used to things being difficult in a sense of people getting the better of you in certain situations and stuff, and then you come to this and it's like a completely new field where that is happening to you on a consistent basis. Or I don't know if it is. I don't know if you're handling the ladies in training. Maybe you are, but
You'd be shocked, but there is no ladies. It's all guys.
it's all guys.
Tough guys. Very
Yeah.
tough. And experienced. I would say that I I hope that with me going to MMA, that people will finally realize that I've always been humble. Um, I don't really care about being humble to man, to human. I care about being humble to God. All my accomplishments, I've always said that, God is the reason for the season. Like, God helped me get here. I give him praise after every fight. God blessed me to be a boxer. God blessed me to be on this journey. God let me know you're going to win 2 Olympic gold medals. You're going to turn pro. You're going to fight on TV. You're going to have all these world titles. God already had spoke to me and let me know those things. All I had to do was obey him. And I've obeyed him in many ways that I can't even speak of um aloud, as far as in the thing that I've done that God has told me to do, and I've listened, even though it's things that I didn't want to do, like being nice to people, or forgiving people that hurt me, hurt my feelings, hurt me physically, being able to move forward with my life. Like I really gave my life, you know, um, to God a long, long time ago. So when it comes to like being humble, I was always humble in boxing, but in order, closed mouth don't get fed. So God already let me know that I was different than all these other women in boxing. When I came along, women trash talking was a no-no. You don't do that. It's forbidden, right? It made people look down upon you. But I still had to come into the game and show them this is what I'm bringing to the table. I'm going to sell the fight. I'm going to sell the tickets so you guys can see. This is why I'm chosen to do this. But still always making sure I put God on the forefront, letting them people know God blessed me to be here. So I've always been humble. MMA didn't humble me, or being taken down, or almost being submitted, or losing a split decision fight. It didn't humble me. Like when I walked into the MMA gym, and everybody there idolized me, even the guys there, and all the gyms I've been to. Oh my God, you're Claressa Shields. I love you. Da da da. I'm humble enough to say to them, every last one of you in here is probably a better MMA fighter than me. So I bow down to you guys, and I'm willing to learn, as long as you guys are willing to teach. And I went into every gym that way. I show up on time to practice. I do the drills. I get frustrated. I ask the questions. I grow. I leave frustrated. I come back the next day, you know, and just try to be better. But um, I've been I've been humbled this entire time, and I don't think that there's a such thing as that. Me being humble, like I'm already humble. I go into everything accepting it for what it is. Like, look, you're not great in MMA. I'm great in boxing, the greatest in boxing. I'm not the greatest in MMA yet. Not yet. I still have some work to do.